forth from. We welcome you, whomever you love. We welcome you, whomever you love. We welcome you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. I'm Reverend Stephen, minister of this congregation. Thank you for joining us this morning as we gather once again, a spiritual community that seeks to be diverse and inclusive as we inspire love, work for justice, and grow together in community. We extend a special welcome to our visitors. Thank you for worshiping with us this morning. And once again, whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we welcome you. Come, let us worship together.
Open doors, smiling faces, we're all one, from different places, so come on in, welcome home, the light above is in everyone. Here we are, ready to go, searching now inside the soul, loving hearts and loving words, learning how to live and grow. We are reaching out, near and far, and we're finding out just who we are. Loving hearts with opening minds, we're gracious people on a journey to find the precious beauty, the light inside. We're growing together every day of our lives. Here we are, ready to go, searching now inside the soul, with loving hearts and loving words, learning how to live and grow. We are reaching out, near and far, and we're finding out just who we are as we travel this road together. In a world that's torn and tattered, but the love in our hearts make it better. And we'll never stand alone. Our faith is like a fountain. It's for always and forever. It's flowing like a river, and it always leads us home. It always leads us home. Open doors, smiling faces, we're all one.
The worship theme for January is intention. Today, we will explore the intentions of our heart. Do you listen to the small, quiet voice inside, the voice of your heart, or some would say, the voice of your soul? Can you even hear it over the clamor and clang of life? What is it telling you? We begin today's service with a guided meditation in which we will try to be fully bodily present right here, right now, listening for that inner voice. At the end of the meditation, I will call you back to being present with us with a chime. I invite you now to find a place or sit comfortably in your seat. Make your back straight. Put your feet on the floor if you can. Close your eyes. Breathe patiently and fully in through your nose, out through your nose, gently and quietly. Give yourself permission to do nothing. Give yourself permission to embrace this moment of stillness in which there's nothing at all that needs to be done other than staying here relatively still, watching your breath. As you watch your breath with an easy, relaxed, and spacious mind, place some small amount of attention on what else the mind or body is feeling. Notice your own discomfort in simply being present, doing nothing. Notice if the mind would rather run off toward the future, a to-do list, or planning. Notice if the mind would rather busy itself with reviewing the past or thinking. And each time you notice, acknowledge the pull of movement, of distraction. And then, with the loving patience of a compassionate elder, give your mind permission to rest. Help the mind settle, be at peace, be still, by guiding toward awareness of body and breath. Feel into breath and body as you let the mind rest. Allow for the mind to feel spacious, open and at ease. Allow your mind to drop into the joy, the bliss of no longer needing to do, the bliss of simply being. The not doing includes no longer fighting against the movement of your mind or the rising thoughts. Allow this too to simply be. Chase nothing. Distraction will arise, but there's nothing to do. Notice, acknowledge, and love. And you'll find yourself again in the spaciousness of presence within your body and within your breath. Feel into the preciousness of this moment, the relative quiet, relative stillness. Recognize its beauty in your whole body, the freedom in resting, the spaciousness in stillness. Give yourself permission to stay right here. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing more sacred or more worthy than this. Just watching, noticing, being present with your body and your breath, give yourself permission to be still. As you bring your presence back into this space with us this morning, will you please join in singing our opening hymn, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our hearts stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
We join Unitarian Universalists across the country in lighting a chalice, an invitation to continue our ongoing search for the light of truth within us and among us. This morning, we also light the chalice to affirm the intentions we have set as we create a sacred space where we will explore what the heart and spirit have to teach us. As I light our shared chalice, I invite you to light your home chalice. Now would you join me in the responsive reading written by Cheryl Block for Lighting the Chalice? And I'd ask you to respond with the words in italics. In this sacred space,
Let us be still in the quiet.
in this sacred space,
Let our hearts open as a butterfly's wings.
in this sacred space,
May the glow of this light shine within us.
we are on a mysterious journey together called life, which brings many things. Part of our experience is struggle and loss. Now, in the spirit of being a community of compassion and care, we take time to share the sorrows, struggles, and losses in our hearts right now. If you have a sorrow, loss, or struggle to share, please use the chat box. I'll be reading them out loud. Larry Cole shares, Bev's been gone 4 years yesterday. Larry, we hold you in our hearts as we honor her memory. We send healing wishes to Julie Beal, who had surgery last week and is recovering well. And Verweeby is thinking of an extended family member who is struggling as they leave a domestic abuse situation. May they find peace and safety. Mary McCann shares that I have fear for my daughter who was being stalked by a mentally ill man in New York City. May she be safe, find peace and strength to deal with this situation. Raven Luna Black Raven says, I continue to ask for prayers for my partner, that her journey becomes less stressful and more successful. Pray that she may find suitable housing soon. We send out these prayers and hopes for a safe, comfortable home for her. Jenny Horvath is sad to have lost a co-worker who died of cancer on Friday. We hold you in our hearts as you grieve, Jenny. Claudia Miller says, missing our dear friend Ann Waters. Ann is with family and is healing after hospitalization. We hold her in our heart. I invite us now to enter into prayer together. And these words have been adapted from my colleague, the Reverend Sarah Lawal. Spirit that is life and love, may we hear the cries of the world. May we be vessels of comfort and compassion. May we be vessels of hope and healing. For those we've named this morning, those we hold in our hearts and minds, those in the world in need of our care and compassion. May we hear the voice within calling us to ask what's possible, to walk to the edge and dance with the infinite for even a little while. May we hear each other's voices of love and encouragement, and may we dare to offer that love and encouragement in return, helping each other become our most loving and full selves. And may love prevail. Our lives bring joy, wonder, and awe too. We've experienced moments this week that have lifted our spirits. You're welcome to use the chat box to share your joys with us. Raven Luna Black Raven shares gratitude that despite all my stress, financial struggles, and stress, I am still holding hope and that I have not fully fallen into deep depression. May you continue to find peace and possibility. From the Rome family, Evian shares that I got my temporary driver's permit yesterday. Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful. Mary McCann shares a local school district at long last has an educational equity board committee. Thank you for the work you're doing, Mary. I know in part that committee is due to you. Deborah Lynn Hook says, grateful for many in this community beyond who supported me and my family as we faced another crisis, my former husband's dementia. Vivian Sandlin reports that Sally Burnell is doing well enough now after surgery and a few rough days afterward. She is recovering at home. We send continued wishes for healing to Sally. Lori Merkin McGee says, my daughter Lauren's birthday was last week. A happy day to her. Tracy Luna's gratitude that my brother-in-law Nate is healing relatively quickly from COVID. May he continue to heal. Now, with gratitude for these and every blessing we receive in life, for the gift of life itself, for the companionship of each other on life's journey, for the beauty of this world, and on this day of possibility, let us raise our hearts in gladness with the word. Amen.
Our story this morning is by one of my favorite authors, the brilliant Kobe Yamada, and illustrated beautifully by Gabriella Baroche. Let's begin. Maybe. Have you ever wondered why you are here? You are the only one there has ever been or ever will be. You have so much to offer. Maybe you will invent something that no one has ever seen before. Maybe you will build things that reach high into the sky. Your life is yours. Try as many things as you can try. See as much as you can see. Wherever you go, take your hopes, pack your dreams, and never forget, it is on journeys that discoveries are made. Maybe you will help others to see the beauty in each day. Or maybe you will lift cheering crowds to their feet. Do everything with love. Follow your heart and see where it leads you. Maybe you are here to shine a light into places that have been dark for far too long. Maybe you will speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Maybe you are here to help in ways that only you can. There will be struggles, there will be fears, and it won't always be easy. At times, it will feel really hard, and you might make a mess of things. You may fall down. You may fail. But you will also get back up, and you will rise a little stronger and a little taller, because there really is more inside you than you know. And this world needs your gifts, your talents, your big ideas. And maybe you're just getting started. What if you are only scratching the surface of what you can do and who you can be? What if your talents, what if you have talents you haven't discovered yet? There is something powerful and even magical about you. You already have everything it takes to do big things. Maybe you have no idea just how good you really can be. And maybe you don't know how much you matter. But maybe, just maybe, the world has been waiting centuries for someone exactly like you. One thing is for sure, you are here. And because you are here, anything is possible. I sure do love that book. So going forward this week, in the words of Kobe Yamada, do everything with love. Follow your heart. See where it leads you. Wherever you go, take your hopes and dreams and never forget that it's on journeys that discoveries are made. And so I wonder, what have you yet to discover about you?
Our reading this morning comes from Dawna Markova. It begins with a poem, and the poem is followed by the author's own commentary on her poem. I will not die an unlived life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which came to me as a seed goes to the next as blossom, and that which came to me as blossom goes on as fruit. The poem is a candle that my soul holds out to me, requesting I find a way to remember what it is to live a life with passion, on purpose. There is only enough light to take the journey step by step, but that is all any of us really needs. When you have the courage to shape your life from the essence of who you are, you ignite, becoming truly alive. This requires letting go of everything that is inauthentic. But how can you even know your truth unless you slow down in your own quiet company? When the inner walls to your soul are graffitied with advertisements, commercials, and the opinions of everyone who has ever known and labeled you, turning inwards requires nothing less than a major cleanup. Traveling from the known to the unknown requires crossing an abyss of emptiness. We first experience disorientation and confusion. Then, if we are willing to cross the abyss in curious and playful wonder, we enter an expansive and untamed country that has its own rhythm. Time melts and thoughts become stories, music, poems, images, ideas. This is the intelligence of the heart. But by that, I don't mean just the seat of our emotions. I mean a vast range of receptive and connective abilities, intuition, innovation, wisdom, creativity, sensitivity, the aesthetic, qualitative, and meaning making. It is here that we uncover our purpose and passion.
I'm an optimist by nature. I have said more than once that when asked if the glass is half full or half empty, I will reply that I don't care as long as there's good wine in it. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling that optimistic right now. I'm frustrated, I'm sad, I'm worried, and I'm guessing many, if not all of you, are sharing similar feelings right now. There's so much trouble. Omicron is raging, life is uncertain, there are threats to our democracy, climate change, racial injustice, and so many more. Plus, each of us has a personal list to deal with too. Grief, sorrow, health issues, and many more. How are you and I supposed to be living with passion and with purpose? How, as Dawna Markova says, can our living possibly open up, making us less afraid, more accessible, living authentically? Most of us are just trying to survive one day at a time, some of us struggling to make ends meet and hoping that things are going to get better. Reason and rational thinking using our minds doesn't help. For me, it just gets my brain working overtime thinking about all that bad stuff, which creates feelings of anger at the world at times and everything that's wrong, feelings of helplessness sometimes. It is in those moments that I most need my spiritual life, when I seek out the intelligence of the heart, the place of meaning making, of true wisdom, of creativity. It is because of my spiritual life that I am able to stay centered, to keep going, to find the strength to face another day even when things seem awful. It is because I take time to enter the realm of the heart, where I can discover life's deepest truths and remember once again who I am, apart from everything that Madison Avenue and our culture tells me I am supposed to be. Dawna Markova describes the heart as a place where time melts and thoughts become stories, music, poems, images, ideas. An expansive and untamed country where we can discover our vast range of gifts, our receptive and connective abilities, our intuition, innovation, wisdom, creativity, our sensitivity, the aesthetic, qualitative, and the meaning-making, where we truly uncover our purpose and our passion. If you looked at the order of service cover this morning, Judy so beautifully created, it includes a quote from John Keats in a letter to Benjamin Bailey in November of 1817, which he says, "I am certain of nothing but of the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of imagination. What the imagination seizes as beauty must be truth, whether it existed before or not. For I have the same idea of all our passions as of love. They are all in their sublime, creative, of essential beauty." As Unitarian Universalists, we name the realm of the heart as our first source of spiritual wisdom. It is the most important, the most trustworthy. It is where we can directly experience transcending mystery and wonder, where we connect with something greater than ourselves. Our Universalist tradition teaches that a spark of the divine is found in every single one of us. This mystery, that divine spark, the ultimate within us, is so powerful. It is able to move us to a renewal of our spirit and help us be open to the forces that not only create, but sustain life. It is that deep well which is life itself, what some of us know as God, what others know as spirit, or nature, or the universe, or the unseen energy that holds life together. To draw from this well, to know the wisdom present inside of us, every single one of us, all we have to do is turn inward and be still. Take time to listen and be open. I can tell you from my own experience that regularly venturing into the realm of the heart brings surprising moments of understanding, of meaning, of clarity, of creativity, even joy. I remember that I have a rightful place in this world, and make no mistake, we all have a rightful place. And I am able to rediscover purpose and passion. I remember who I am as a child of God, a citizen of the universe, a spirit with dignity and worth, and gifts to share with my world. I have even had some of those moments of that peace which is beyond understanding. Although it sounds simple, as with all matters of the Spirit, it's not. I don't always hear something or have a great insight when I take time to turn inward. Most of the time it is a chance to simply be, but I am content knowing mystery and wonder are still present. I also don't want to give the impression that a regular spiritual life will solve all your problems or provide an answer to all the uncertainties we face in life. And taking time for a spiritual life may seem like a luxury in the midst of our problems and struggles, but I can testify to a regular spiritual practice, and I emphasize the word practice, that will provide strength to cope with all the stuff that makes life hard. And what if, as our Time for All Ages asked, what if you are only scratching the surface of what you can do and who you can be? Rather than keep talking about it, let's take time to experience. At the beginning of the service, Lori led us in centering and being still. I invite you now to draw on that practice for some time which will be longer than our usual silence during a service. As with all worship elements, you are welcome to participate as you're comfortable. This time is a gift you are giving yourself, and I encourage you to use it as you need. Whether it's reflecting on your intentions for this year, listening for that still, small voice, enjoying a cup of coffee, or simply taking the time to breathe and be. And now, to prepare for the stillness, let's breathe deeply together. Letting air flow in through our nose. Deep breaths back out through our nose. Come, let us enter the silence together. I invite you to return as you're ready to take one last deep breath. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and it is from this that we live. Our community thrives in its shared life of worship, community, and ministry because of your generosity, the gifts of money, time, and care each of you give. Thank you. To help others in our community thrive, we also give to agencies and organizations in Kent and beyond that serve those in need. January's special offering was chosen by our children and youth and is for the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning young people. In the spirit of gratitude for the gift of one another and this community and the abundance that makes our generosity possible, we now give and receive the offering as a sign of our shared commitment to the life and work of this congregation and beyond.
There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising. rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more fires burning, they will find their way to me. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know. There are more mountains falling, they will find their way to me. There are more mountains falling, this I know, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know. I will wade through the waters, I know, this I know. I will wade through the waters, I know. I will wade through the waters when they find their way to me. I will wade through the waters, I know, this I know. I will wade through the waters, I know. I will walk through the fires, I know, this I know. I will walk through the fires, I know. I will walk through the fire when they find their way to me. I will walk through the fires, I know, this I know. I will walk through the fires, I know. I will rebuild the mountains, I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, I know. I will rebuild the mountains when they find their ways to me. I will rebuild the mountains, I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, I know.
It is time now to bring our worship to its close. Would you join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. May we carry these in our hearts and minds until we are together again. These are the words of Mary Oliver. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. And now, reminded once again of the wisdom to be found in our hearts when we listen, and guided by our intentions and hopes for living fully and authentically, let us go forth in peace and in joy to continue inspiring love, seeking justice, and growing in community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. And I see the light in you.